Buenos dias. I don't know if this is going to work today. I'm going to try. Vamos a ver si esto funciona. Oh, the other way. And then I guess if I do this, will you be able to see? I think so. All right. All right. Hoy estamos haciendo granola. Oh, something happened to the stove. The stove is interesting. Okay. All right. Buenos dias. I don't see anybody, but I only have an hour, so we're going to get going with the granola because I have to be somewhere. I have to be done by 11, and I am using my laptop today, so we'll see how that works. It's a trial. So we are setting our plate, not a plate, our thing that we're going to use to put the granola in. And then yesterday I bought this glass to do the parfait, but we need to get the granola in the oven. All right. So we are using the laptop today, and I hope that works. So granola is something that I like to make, even though it tends to, when you buy them in the store, they say it's like, very high in fat. I don't know why they say that, because it's not really. So right now, we're going to get the granola started. So, yep, here is the bowl. You see it. 5 cups old-fashioned oats. So I went and got 2 kinds of oats. I have the entera. That means I kind of like the steel coat. And then another one, because you don't want the one, they have different kinds of oats here in Panama. They have some that have been kind of mashed. And I guess it makes it easier to make oatmeal. And they do make oatmeal. Crema de avena. Last time when I did the video about breakfast, that's what they did. Okay, well, I don't see anybody. That's interesting today. All right. So people are saying, we don't want to do breakfast. But you have to switch it up. You can't do the same thing all the time. Right? So we're going to get the oats. Or if you use, I don't think you can use Quaker oats, because if that's all you have, that's fine. But you really want to use a whole, like the kind of, what do you call these things? They call them hojuelas. I meant to look to see what that meant. 2. Oh, okay. So that means 2 of these bags will make 5. This is the one thing about me. If I tell you I'm going to show up, I show up. If nobody else shows up, I show up for myself so that my conscience is clear. If I make a promise, I keep it. So that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. So I think it's just 2 bags. That's good. 5 cups oats. And then I was trying to find packed brown sugar, which is something that I don't see very often, but I went to Weber Smith and I found Domino's. 1 cup brown sugar. I have a recipe before where I use molasses. Hola, the one person who's here. Welcome. We're making granola today in a breakfast burrito. Oh, it is brown. I like that. Okay. So you can find Domino's in certain stores, not every store, right? And these are the things that we are used to, that when we get them, we pay a little bit for, but that's okay. We don't mind. All right, 1 cup packed brown sugar, which, you know, for this whole thing of oats, it's not going to be bad. It's not going to be sweet. All right. Ooh, that's good. I like that. So now I'm going to have to save this somewhere so the little mini ants don't get to it. They're busy over here. And this is the kind of thing that you deal with living in a tropical country. All right. So the people are not interested in granola. That's too bad. That is too bad. I definitely feel that we need to be a little bit more versatile. You don't want to be doing the same thing all the time. And I will be doing some desserts here, because if I call myself a chef, I have to be able to do different things. Now, of course, I'm not big on cakes and, you know, stuff like that. I've seen a few things that you can make using your blender. You put, you know, like ice cream, and you can make breads. I'm going to try some of those. All right. 1 cup wheat germ. Wheat germ is very important to have if you want to make granola. Ooh, I felt that. I heard that. 1 cup wheat germ. Now, you know, that's something that's a little bit expensive, but all worth it, right? All right. If you have flaky coconut, you can put it in there. I don't. And plus, I feel like it's got sugar in it, and we don't need sugar. Look at that. 1 person watching. Aww. Aww. Listen, whatever life throws at you, you roll with it, right? So I know I would want a little bit of salt. So I'm going to put a little bit of salt. Not a lot, just to balance everything out. Now you're going to take lots of cinnamon. I'm going to put a tablespoon of cinnamon, but I'm going to eyeball. You know, that paprika is so close to that, to that cinnamon that makes me nervous. My sister Tina blessed me with the organic maple syrup. This is something that is super expensive here. I think it's expensive stateside too. All right. So cinnamon, I put a lot. And just because I love cinnamon, and know that it's good for you too. So you could put 1 tablespoon, give or take. All right. Nutmeg. Definitely you need nutmeg. But I believe my nutmeg is in this jar. My spice jar at the bottom. And I grate my nutmeg. I do not like ground nutmeg, but if that's what you have, you can use that. All right. You always want to have a grater. We call that muscade in French, and I think it's called muscada here. So that's the thing I tell you, that French is really close to Spanish. All right, we put the salt. We have the nutmeg. All right. 1/3 cup honey. You know, I don't want to put it in a cup and then having to scrape it back. So you just put honey. And I'm going to add the maple syrup. I love maple syrup. All right. So it's a 1/3 cup of each. Now this recipe also calls for 1/3 cup of water, but I prefer to use coconut milk. 1/2 cup vegetable oil. Now I got sunflower oil, not from the seeds. You know, think about it's like you're making muffins, right? You need something to bind it. You know, for muffins, you use vegetable oil. Now, I don't like, they say nowadays that if you use corn oil, it's bad for you. I was raised on the thing, so I don't worry about it. I am just shocked that you guys don't like breakfast. Only 2 of you are watching. That is amazing. All right, gonna put some coconut milk instead of water, just because I love coconut milk. Vanilla. We need to put vanilla. Okay, we want to be sure that all parts of this granola is a bit wet, because once you put it in the oven, which I'm going to turn on right now, you want it to form clumps, right? Okay. All right, vanilla extract. And of course, I like pure vanilla. 1 teaspoon. Yep. And then once this goes in the oven, then I'm going to toast the almond. And then I have cranberries, I have raisins, and I have almonds. You guys don't like granola. Aww. That looks amazing. Looks good. Let me give it a taste. Nice. Okay. So you're gonna put this in the oven. Now be careful you don't burn it, okay? So I'm gonna turn the oven hot, but then I'm gonna turn it off. Turn it down, I should say. Okay, right here. So this can go in there because I bought extra. which is fine. The granola tastes really good. Now, once you have all your ingredients, make sure everything is balanced. Don't make it too sweet. Add a little salt. The salt will balance the flavors. A little bit of salt, not a lot. You know, if you put half a teaspoon of salt in this, that's not gonna raise your blood pressure, okay? I'm just telling you to relax. You see what it looks like? Beautiful. You can make all kinds of snacks with this, all right? And then you can tell yourself it's oats, it's good for you, even though this doctor says, yeah. But you know, all the stuff they're talking about these days with the health book and all that, it's just about mixing and matching your stuff. Not one thing. It's a mixture. All right. Ooh, it's a mound. It's almost like I need a bigger pan. I need to invest in a bigger pan. I just don't want to buy more stuff. So this is gonna have to do a sheet pan. Let's see. Let's try this one. It needs to spread out some more. So let's try this one instead. Yeah. Eso es mejor. That's better. Okay. Vamos. Very good. Look at that. All right. So now we can spread it a little bit more. See? Got to improvise. Yes, that's definitely better. Because we want the clumps. I went to watch a flamenco dance on Friday. It was so nice. I kept watching these people with their legs. I was tired just watching them. Strong legs. Oh my God. The first time I saw flamenco dancing was when I was chaperoning my daughter's class in the 1990s. And we made a stop. It was a European tour. And we made a stop in Barcelona. And they took us there. And I saw a picture on my phone yesterday where we were seated. And I fell in love with flamenco dancing then. So now when I was in Florida, in our area, we had the Spanish, I think it's October, Spanish month or something like that. And they would always have flamenco dancing. All right, it's gonna go in the fridge, not in the fridge, in the oven. So I am gonna keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. Okay. So I don't need this anymore. So now what we're gonna do, you're gonna make home fries. Now see, I'm using my laptop, you guys don't see my face. We're gonna make home fries with the potatoes. And I bought some wraps yesterday. Kind of reminded me of my restaurant. We used to have bigger ones. And the breakfast burrito was one of our specialties. And you scramble eggs, and then you do some veggies, and then we'd have bacon or ham, cheese, but we're not doing cheese today because I don't buy cheese. We're not doing bacon. So what I thought I would do is use some potatoes and shred them and cook them on the stove so they can become crunchy. And then I'm going to use that as a crunch. So that's going to be the base um, of the burrito. And then I'm going to do a veggie mix, which is going to be very simple. And because I'm not using bacon, if I have time, I'll do a little bit of salsa in the blender. Very easy, right? Hola, Victory. Yes, I showed up because I'm like, people don't want to hear about um, breakfast. You know, I do lots of regular food and soups and stuff. Gotta switch it out. Don't be doing the same thing all the time. Mm-mm. No, gotta be what we call versatile. All right. So in here, I'm gonna get 3 eggs out because when you're doing omelets, you do 3 eggs, right? And I have my tray of 30 eggs. I have not been eating eggs lately. You know, it's like hit or miss. I just don't want to eat the same thing all the time. Just like I say, switch it up. I like to switch up in my food as well. All right. Then I bought some Greek yogurt yesterday. So Bonnie, whatever that brand is super pricey here. So this is from Reba Smith. Reba makes a lot of things. Reminds me of Publix actually. And it says yogurt griego. Griego means Greek. So that, and then I bought a little thing of blueberry. I didn't even look to see how much it cost because I know I was gonna go. But anyway, I needed it, so I got it. So we're gonna do. We have some jalapeno. We're definitely gonna need some lime, limones. All right, onions, yes. Miel goes in. And oh, I was able to find some Scotch bonnet yesterday. You see them? Scotch bonnet. They call them ahi jumbo here. And then it was $1.65. That didn't bother me. Sweet peppers. And I have some leftover spinach we're going to put in our wrap. These are the potatoes. I think I'm going to do the potatoes now. And with the veggies, oh, no carrots. No carrots. We need some peppers. Different colored peppers. Okay. All right. So right now, I think maybe I should do the veggie mix first because that can be cold. It's not too bad. But the potatoes, I want them to be hot, and I'm going to do them in a cast iron. So, and it's going to take time because I'm going to cut them like dice. That's how you make home fries. I remember I used to make those in the morning. Oh my gosh, people used to love it. It's like omelet home fries, or we need to do a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant. Oh, that was popular. Bacon, egg, and cheese croissant. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's do the veggies. I told you I'm using my laptop, so it's a little bit weird. I have so many people in the States right now, and they're like, what do you need? And I need a camera, I need a phone, but you got to be there to do that yourself. You don't want somebody to do that for you. And it's a problem because I tried to see if I could order my iPhone from here, and it was like it changed the moment they see that I'm calling from Panama. The price changed, everything changed, which is no bueno. All right. This is not the time where I'm gonna put garlic in this thing now. It is going into my my wrap, no garlic. So usually with this, it's just like salt, pepper, a little bit of acid, that's it. Now because it's gonna go inside my wrap, I want like juliennes, right? I don't want dices, so you gotta think about that. Everything in scale, right? Then we do the peppers. Tomatoes, I don't like to put in my wrap because it's wet, and I don't want anything that's gonna be wet. You gotta think when you're cooking. Piensa, piensa, piensa. Pensar. Oh, my poor students. Sometimes I feel like I'm really abusing them. It's like we talked about that last week. They're like, last week? That was a long time ago. Teaching adults is nothing like teaching children. I have no experience teaching children, so I can't say anything about that. But I know as much as I love to teach, I couldn't teach like teenagers. Nope. Not me. What I hear these children are doing to teachers nowadays, they'd probably arrest me. Well, I knew I couldn't teach children. I knew that. The babies probably. I had a friend who said she was a teacher. She said, I love my kindergartner, but she said, but I stay sick. They all come and I certainly understand. Okay, I have a little red and I want a little yellow. I still have one yellow left from my pack from last week. Yes. All right, let me check my. Okay, good. So how are you guys doing? You know, I tell you, I have not been watching the news lately. The other day I was like, maybe you haven't been watching TV. The TV has not been on, to tell you the truth. So I'm kind of out of the loop. I kind of saw that they fired somebody. I'm like, ooh. That's why I tell people, do not fret. You have got to get to the point where you believe that, you know, everything happened for a reason. And I gotta tell people, I don't believe in karma anymore because I see some people walking the street. If karma was a thing, they wouldn't be walking the street. So that means it's got nothing to do with me, my desires, or what I think is right. So I just kind of move through this crazy world at my own pace, trying not to let the news, wars, and things affect you. I was talking to a sister while I was doing the live. The sister was there. I said, how are you doing? She said, oh, as well as can be expected, Auntie. I said, Auntie, this crazy world will make you lose your, you know what, if you're not careful. You just have to keep going. Oh, that's another thing. I need a nice set of tongues. There's a sister coming in. She said, is there anything you want me to bring you? I think that's what I'm going to tell her. Bring me a nice set of tongues. You know, something so simple. You don't think it would make a difference, but it does. It does. Oh, I think I put too much onion for my wrap. I'll leave some out. But, all right. Some yellow peppers. And then we're going to finish it off. I'm just going to throw the spinach after it's done. because usually over there I would use raw spinach, but because the spinach here is kind of hardy, so I'm gonna do that. So all these can go back in. Oh, jalapeno. Oh yeah, I gotta have jalapeno. Oh, that looks just perfect. You know, because I don't want it to overcook. This is gonna go in a wrap, so it cannot be. No, you want. Remember, we're chasing crunch. So let me get like a little bit of jalapeno para mí, para ti. Si te ne gusta, no lo pone. Don't put it on there if you don't care for jalapeno. I love a little heat. So I'm putting that in here. And let's see the spinach. I'm going to rip the leaves, season this, and then just throw the spinach in there. All right, because we don't want the spinach to, cook. It has to be, but I want a little bit of that heat on it to kill whatever might be in between these leaves. I'm kind of paranoid about stuff like that. And after seeing that man spray the food right in front of me in the middle of the street, okay. That gave me pause. Ooh, Lord help us. That's what I say. You do whatever you do whatever you can, and then the rest of it you got to leave it to the Lord, right? And that's why you say God is good, God is great. Let us take it for us. You just bless the food and go. Otherwise, you're gonna take yourself and hide yourself in a bunker, and you're not gonna go out and do anything because everything is not good. All right. Oh my God, the smell in here. Wonderful. And I have what do I call that? A container that has a little bit of my pineapple juice left. Pineapple water. I'm gonna take it out, rinse it, and that's where I'm going to store my granola. So granola, you can have it like a cereal with water. Water with milk. You can put it in yogurt. It's very versatile. Actually, if you learn to make granola, you would love it because it is all right, and then a little bit of acid. See. All right. And then I'm just gonna throw the spinach in. A little heat. And then it's ready. Now today is a special day. Only 5 people watching. Wow. That is so surprising. All right. So, good. It's ready. And then we're going to be doing the potatoes now. Okay, I'm going to turn the granola. Potatoes. And the potato is going to be the same thing. It won't take long. I'm going to use my pretty cast iron. I don't put it on there yet. We're going to be making home fries. Home fries are diced potatoes that you cook on the stove and seasoned. I could use my peeler, but I'm afraid it was gonna make a big mess with things going all over the place. So I just, ooh, I like the fact that the inside is yellow. That's pretty. You know how we have fingerling potatoes at home? Oh, these are beautiful. They pair so well with a piece of steak or some, when you're making some lamb chops. Ooh, yes. Now, you know, I'm not a meat eater. Doesn't mean I'm allergic to meat, nor am I vegan, okay? You know, I always like to say that because I am not vegan. So I went to this show on Friday, and they had oxtail. Rabo de toro, they call it. It was melting in your mouth oxtail. Wasn't seasoned or anything, but hey, I knew where I was as Española. But you know, I went to a show not too long ago, and it was cooking from around the world. And there was a restaurant, and I just could shoot myself. I did not write down the name of the restaurant, but the chef was there, and he made some type of a paella, but he used that black rice. And I was looking through Ray, and I saw it. So I'm just trying to look for, and I keep saying I want to stay away from rice. Boy, this week I ate that rice from last week. I paid for it dearly. I ended up having to take a water pill to get rid of all the water that was, oh, I felt so miserable. Me and rice, we don't, and that is so sad because I am Caribbean. We eat rice, but whenever I eat it, it does not agree. I mean, if I had a little bit, but if I have a whole pot, and that's where the problem comes in. But this paella with this black rice, and it had clams and shrimp, and oh my God, it was like a dimari, right, with fruit de mer, with seafood. It was so good. But I don't know, he used a special stock with it. I don't know. But I remember at home, I had a paella pan. I even had a paella pan. Can you believe it? And then, let's see. Oh, these need to go. Wow. That's a lot of bags. Ooh, look at that. These little cast iron, let me tell you, it's already piping hot. Vámonos. Vamos pa la calle. It's okay, so now I am going to, all right, take it easy, take it easy. Oh, it's already so hot. So I'm going to have to cube these. Remember, when I did home fries, they were about this size. Yes. Now, if I was in culinary school, they would want me to do this and, you know, waste a bunch of it. I'm not doing that. We're just going to make them as close to the same size as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect. The worst thing you can do is to burn the granola. Ooh, no bueno. I'm using all the potatoes because I'm gonna finish it off and eat it myself. Potatoes aren't bad for you. Just don't eat too much because it is a carb, right? I mean, for me. I do better with potatoes than I do with rice. Go figure. That's why I think I'm probably a little bit gluten sensitive with the wheat. All right. So now this is, in the absence of a grill, this is what you do with the potatoes. All right. Oh, this is a, oh, I don't have my crunch. Okay, this is a home fries. Maggie. Let me please have a couple more potatoes. Oh. Yep. All right. I forgot about the potatoes I was going to make for the crunch. Let's see, how can I salvage this? So if I take some of these and slice them real small, this is where the creativity comes in, okay? I was supposed to shred one of the potatoes to make a base for my wrap, but I forgot. So I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna slice this really small, and then I'm gonna use this pan that tends to get really hot in the middle and see if it will do the potatoes. Let's see. Slice really thin. Maggie. ¿Qué pasó ahora? All right. Oh, you know what? Now, before I put it in, I'm gonna chop it like I'm chopping parsley. To make a crust. Okay. You know, I see that chef from La Tapa del Coco, él es colonense. He was doing, you know, his restaurant has been recognized as one of the best in Latin America. I think we have 5 restaurants here in Panama that have been recognized. Isn't that amazing? Yes. All right, it's getting there. And so when these potatoes are cooked, I'm gonna season a little bit and add some herbs. You gotta do something different sometimes, guys. Lo mismo. No bueno. Okay. So I'm trying to redeem my forgetfulness here. So I'm going to do this to this potato. You know, you can make it like if you had shredded it, right? Yes. It works. So now we're going to toast it in that pan and make sure they're crispy and use that as my base for my wrap. Aha. We can do this. So that's what's gonna go at the base of my wrap. Yes. Benaka, 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 benaka. Two can play at this game. Come on. We can do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. Si, senor. All right. Now, cast irons are very good for something like this because they cook so fast and the heat is usually very uniform. So I'm going to turn it down a bit because I want to be sure the potatoes are cooked and not just, looking pretty. But, so now we season little pepper in this one as well. Little adobo. Now remember, adobo has a little bit of salt in it, so you're always careful with it. Paprika. Pimiento español. Oh, okay. The other one is amojado, meaning smoked. Amojado. All right. Home fries. So when I do get the restaurant and you come around and you say home fries, that's what you're gonna get with your egg. So now I'm gonna turn this off here. Well, let me taste it first, make sure it's cooked. A little bit longer, too. Maybe the salt. And some, it says culantro, but that's okay. It could be parsley or any dry herbs. All right. So I'm going to, you know what I want to do now, because it's just a little, got a little bite to it. And I want it to cook a little bit, so I'm going to cover it. I'm going to steam it a bit. And that's going to help. So I'm going to let it steam a little bit. I have it like just on 2. So we're going to cover it. Going to steam, going to cook a little bit. Now this one here, we need, this is the one that's going to go under the wrap. So I need a little oil and let it cook down. Where is that? Okay. I think it's sad that people don't want to see granola in breakfast. Ooh. Looking beautiful. But I have to get it out in time, so it needs to cool off so it can. Yeah, it's a little soft. You need to crisp up some more. Turn the heat up. trying to time everything, right? So we don't want, I'm just cooking this thing here. Well, how about if I move this over here? Oops. Two, and then bring this up. All right. And then we're going to get our egg ready. And when you're making an omelet or scrambled egg, I always like to put a little bit of milk or cream in it. That's me. Not everybody does that, but I'm not allergic to milk or anything. So okay, got a little piece. Yep, if you have any piece of a shell, you want to be sure to fish it out, because what you don't want is for that to show up while you're chewing. All right, so that needs to cook. I can make it into 9, it stays at 8. Okay. So salt, pepper, and a little bit of cream or milk. I did buy a thing of milk because I have the granola, and I know sometime during the week, maybe I want it for breakfast. So I like this brand here, Chiricana. Another time we make breakfast, we'll make quiches, right? Quiches are good, or frittatas, we call them, when they don't have a, oh my God, look how pretty those potatoes are. Woo wee. Now they're good. Look at this. The herbs are on them. And that's what happens when you were cooking. You like your food. This is the no bueno kind of thing. All right. So now I have some almonds that I'm going to put in the granola. I was looking for the slivered one. I couldn't find them. Hola, Deborah. ¿Cómo estás? Chef Brooklyn. Listen, I hope you're not the chef who owns that restaurant in Brooklyn. Could you tell me that? Because I told you to open a restaurant here in Panama, and I'd come and help you. I forgot her name, but she has a restaurant in Brooklyn. And this person called Chef Brooklyn. So you make me think maybe that's you. Wouldn't that be amazing if you came here and opened that restaurant here in Panama? I told you I would help you. I don't know, I would help you run it because I don't want any headaches. Managing people is the worst thing, because I don't care how old they are, they're still a I'm talking a pain. All right, so I'm going to put my almonds in here. And again, you adjust to what you have, all right? That's what my video was about. You Panama, I love Panama, but there's some things you have to kind of figure out because it's not the same. So I am going to crush them roughly, and then I'm going to toast them a little bit. Ooh. Ooh, I'm not gonna burn my granola. Ooh, burn the edges, Lord Jesus. Even with me here, it's trying to burn my granola. Oh, I am burning the granola. The granola is not responsible. It's you, Maggie, running your mouth. In the middle. Yeah, they get brown on the edges, so I'm gonna mix everything in. I caught it just in time. But you know, I noticed when they clump, it's when I use the molasses because it's kind of, what do they call that? Kind of elastic. But when I don't have the molasses, and I don't want to use the molasses, so I'm going to be perfectly okay. But it just needs to cook some more. It's good. Oh, Lord. I caught it right in time. It was going to burn right under my nose. No, ma'am. Not on my watch. Stop it. All right, you know what? I need to put it down, further down. It was like in the broiler spot. No bueno. All right. Yes. Move this down. You know, this is like a German oven, so it's a little bit different from what I'm used to. But you want to say, no excuses, Maggie, no excuses. And you would be right. All right, it's getting there. Almost. So now what am I going to use to hit these almonds? What do I have that is hard? I don't have a mallet. ¿Qué hacemos? Now the heaviest knife I have is my serrated knife from home. It works. You have to make do with what you have. Oh yes, I got my crunch. Look at that. Perfecto. So turn it down. I got my crunch for the bottom of my my wrap. All right. Potatoes are good. Now I'm gonna save this because I'm going to toast the almonds in here. Ooh, make sure I don't get hurt. I'm gonna take some of it out because it's gonna take me a while to do all of them. So we're just gonna take, and I'm gonna mix that with some of the granola, not all of it, okay? Just in the interest of time, because I'm volunteering today, and I need to be out of here by 11:45. So it's about 11. So let me just do this amount. Hey, we getting it. Okay, almost. Okay. I had to do what I had to do, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. That's what I call thinking on your feet, right? When one thing doesn't work, you're like, okay, what else can I do? That's what that means. All right. So we're gonna do this one. You know, toast it a little bit. Let's see what we're gonna mix our, part of our granola. I'm not gonna do all of it. I'm gonna leave the rest of it. I'll finish it later on when I return. But what I want to do, what I will do is take my pineapple water out of here, rinse this, but it's not even big enough for the rest of my granola. But I'll use that to store the granola. And the granola, you can store it on your counter. It doesn't have to be refrigerated or anything, right? Okay, so that's that. And so when I get to mix in here the granola, I'm gonna put some raisins. I was looking for apricot. Listen, the price of the apricot that I saw, I ran. I'm like, oh no, I don't need apricot like that. I think it was like $12, $15 for the thing. I'm like, you can keep it. I don't need it. Even raisin. This was two something. It's a Cinderella raisins. But if you go to Super 99, in the produce section, they'll have them in plastic bag that they've weighed, and you can have like a nice pack for like $2 and a lot more than this, okay? But yesterday it was one of those, I had 2 hours and I needed to get some stuff quickly, and that's what I did. So we're gonna put raisins. You can put pistachios, whatever you like, okay? You need some nuts. If you like walnuts, you can do that. And then mix it with the oat mixture. And that is a good mix. And it's a good, something to sit there and snack on. I'd snack on that over popcorn, right? Because that is much better than popcorn. All right. So now I'm going to put that in here because that's what I'm going to put the granola in. And then now let's do our wrap. we are going to do our scrambled egg. When you do scrambled egg, medium heat. You don't want it to be hot. And that's why your eggs get all that brown stuff. Low heat to medium heat. Please do not use foil to cook. Use parchment or nothing, just the bare pan. Preferably stainless steel, glass, iron. Oh, thank you. I have my aluminum pan that I love. People talk about it. I grew up using it. You know, I take all this stuff with a grain of salt. All the new knowledge about everything. Like this lady was like, "Oh, don't use a board to cut because it's got things in it." I'm like, "You don't clean your board." So, but thank you. Ah, so a little bit of oil, and I always add a little bit of butter to my when I'm cooking my eggs. Just like what's the other one? When I do fish, I do the same thing. And again, I'm not vegan. Okay. Now, to tell you the truth, I do not like this pan because the bottom of it is too shallow. It burns things really easy. So my eggs, medium to low heat. Ooh-wee. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Granola is done. I remember when they were teaching us how to cook eggs. It's like, you really have to teach us how to cook eggs? He's like, some people don't know how to cook it. You know, if you have like chopsticks, it's really nice for you to move them around. I don't have chopstick, nor do I know how to use them. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. When I go to an Asian restaurant, trying to pick up the dumpling. That's another thing I want to learn how to make. I love dumplings, but they're always filled with like some pork thing. I'm like, no. All right, we're gonna get some of the granola and put it in here. All right. Now remember that you don't want it to be brown. That's why you have to really control your heat. Okay. Now, for some people that would be good, but I like mine a little dry. Yeah, most of us Caribbean don't like wet eggs or raw eggs or runny eggs. Mm-mm. All right. All right, we are ready. So these are granola with almonds, cranberries, and raisins. So this, you could use it as a cereal with milk, or you use it as yogurt. Sometimes we do yogurt bowls, but this is really good. All right, and you know it's healthy, right? Okay. Okay. Now for the wrap. All right. I'm gonna wash my hands again. And I'm going to use the cast iron that I have the potatoes in, and I'm going to put the wrap in there because you need to, what do I call it, to seal the wrap, right? Now, at the restaurant, I had the larger one, but that was the best I could find, and I was like, okay, well, that's what we're gonna do. And I even saw the one with the green one. We used to have spinach wraps. We used to have what is it? Sun-dried tomato wraps. But this is like a compromise in terms of size. It's not exactly the size, but all right. So with this, we're gonna put our crunchy potatoes as a base. Remember, that's what we wanted to do. Crunchy potatoes. Then we're gonna put our eggs. Now remember, you can do bacon bits and whatever. So I don't eat bacon. So then I'm gonna put my veggies, my peppers, and my, what do I call that? Shorty spinach. Yes. Now you could go put some cheese if you want, but I don't eat cheese like that, so I'm not doing that. And then we're going to close it. You bring it up. I think I put too much. Too much. Too much eggs. I take some of the eggs out. Es demasiado. Demasiado means too much. That's because the size of the wrap is a little bit less than I'm used to. It's smaller, but that's okay. No excuses. Okay? Vamos. In. And you bring it in. Ooh. In. You bring it in. So small. Okay? Now we're going to get this, we're going to sit it in the pan so it will seal before we cut it. Let it get hot. All right. to get ready for our parfait. And I went and bought these. Aren't they cute? I got these at Elise yesterday. So we're gonna do yogurt, granola. Oh, I'm supposed to rinse out my blueberries. This sister got sick the other day from eating some blueberries. Again, like I said, seeing that guy spray that food, you know your food is getting sprayed. Oh, Lord, help us. So I'm gonna soak this in some vinegar and maybe a little bit of baking soda, just to hope that I can take off some of the grime, whatever they might have sprayed it with. All right, I got the blueberries soaking. All right, it's hot. Put it right here so it will seal. All right. And at the restaurant, we even had like a weight. But this little wrap is so fragile, I'm going to do that with it. And hope it just seals. All right. This is the yogurt griega. Greek yogurt. Uh-oh. I know last time I struggled with this thing. No, don't burn it. I just want you to seal it. Okay. You sealed it. But you see, I have to quick get it off the pan because this little cast iron, they are hot. Woo. All right, let's see. Woo. Make it so hard. All right. You ready? Okay. It's done. Gracias. So we're gonna put our, let's see, where do we put? We plate this with. All right. So now I'm gonna get my serrated knife. And cut my burrito in half. Burrito. So, burrito, burrito. Yes. Ooh. And home fries. Wow. Yes. Beautiful. All right. I need a touch of green. I don't think cilantro. Maybe I'll just put a couple of pieces of lime, but I don't think cilantro would work. Looks good. That's what I said. Play with your food. Play with your food. I don't think I'm ever going to forget seeing that boy spraying that food right there with the pesticide. As I said, we are doomed. All right. Well, this is the Panamanian version of limon. They call everything limon here. When I'm like, it's sour orange. All right. Breakfast is served. All right. So now let me open this to make the parfait. If I can open this. It says open, but oh. Okay. Ooh. That can't be right. Oh my word. So hard. Whew. All right, this is not good. So here's my pretty little cup. You know, I thought it was glass, and then I touched it. I'm like, I think that's like a hard plastic. Why are we using plastic? Uh-oh. The same sister is going to say, don't use plastic. Well, I thought it was glass. So, and it doesn't look quite like, you know, Greek yogurt that I'm used to. Not the same. Not the same. But this is just to show you. And then you're going to put yolk, you're going to put granola. Right? Then you can put a little bit of a few of the blueberries. So I'm going to rinse them out. And I also looked for mint yesterday, yerba buena. I couldn't find it. So remember, if you watch my last video, hit or miss, you're not gonna find the same thing 2 weeks in a row. Now you see it, now you don't. Okay? Then you do another layer. So I'm just going to put that in the fridge because I won't have time to eat anything before I have to go. Now this parfait cup, it's a little bit tall, but, and you can put them in a bowl as well. At the restaurant, I used to do yogurt bowl. So this looks just perfect in terms of size, right? And then you finish it with the fruit. Sometimes you can put strawberries, but I wasn't ready to spend a lot of money buying strawberries. You know, I told you berries are super expensive here, and I decided I didn't want to do that. Pay the extra money. Gonna sprinkle a little bit here. Then I usually sprinkle a little cinnamon on top and then garnish with some mint, but I don't have that. So we're just gonna skip that. And cinnamon, which is always good for you, unless someone tells me otherwise. Somebody's gonna come out and say, "Oh well, cinnamon is not good." I'm like, "Oh yeah, whatever." I roll my eyes. Yeah, dusting it with some cinnamon. Yep. It is good. Look how pretty. See? That's why you make granola. When you sit here and you're snacking on this, here you could have put some honey, but I figured I had enough sugar with the granola. So today we made breakfast. We did not make a soup or something. So we have a parfait with homemade granola, blueberries, and Greek yogurt. And then we made a beautiful breakfast burrito. You always want to see color in here. And then we made some yummy home fries that are dusted with some herb home fry. Look at that. Perfect timing. All right, guys. Thank you for the few of you who joined me. I don't know what happened. People are not interested in breakfast, but I do cook different things and I don't like to stick to one genre. So, soup, dessert, rice. I'm going to keep saying I'm staying away from rice, but my belly button was cut with rice. So that's a problem for me. But anyway, I thought that was a nice little change. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful day and that whatever you're planning to do today, you do it. Today, I'm going to be volunteering with my kids. It's a back to school thing we're doing. I got my bag ready with all the supplies and I'll be on my way. All right. Au revoir. Bonne journée. Bye.